Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, the place to be if you want to start, run and scale a creative or handmade business on Etsy and beyond. I'm giving you a big virtual welcome and hug because my name is Steph and I'm the founder of Handmade Bosses. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified every single week when I do videos and live streams and stuff like this, which is really going to help you to grow your handmade business. Today I'm going to be talking about how to edit Etsy listing photos within Canva completely for free. It is so easy to do, and honestly, if you have photos that are a little bit dark, perhaps a little bit blurry, or the color is a little bit off, then you definitely want to be watching this video because it will save you having to reshoot tons of listing photos. So I'm going to take you into Canva now and we're going to edit some photos. Okay, so I'm in Canva currently and I have this example picture here that, as you can see, is a little bit dark. It's a little bit blurry. It's not really come out as well as we'd hoped, when we were taking it on our phones or on our cameras or whatever. And now we're probably thinking, oh, I have to go back and reshoot this. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to keep this one to the left here so you can see the difference. And I'm going to show you how I would edit this so that I could possibly use it for Etsy without having to reshoot it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit image here and I'm going to go on to either see all here or adjust here. Okay. And then what you see is you see a load of these settings and things that we can adjust here. Okay. So I tend to work from the top down because you're going to see the biggest difference in doing that. So what I tend to do is I tend to start off with the brightness. Now for something like this, I want it to be quite bright because we're selling candles. I don't want to do it too bright so it's like this, but at the same time I want to keep the depth, but I want it to be bright and airy. Okay, then I'm going to change the contrast, not though it's so blown out like this, but I'm going to change it so it's just a little bit more contrasted there. And then I'm going to just fix the blur real quick because I feel like if I sharpen it up a little bit, I could go too far. Obviously that's too blurry, but you don't want to go too far one way or the other. And it's really easy when you are editing pictures to do that. So I'm going to kind of leave it at about there. I think that even might be a bit too sort of sharp, and you can do it with your arrow keys as well, just to do those little tiny adjustments. I'm also going to put the saturation up, but not too far again, otherwise it will look a little bit orange.
Bosses, we've been having some really great conversations in today's video. However, I'm here to tell you about this. This is called your conversion rate, and I've actually made for you in the description box below a free 90-minute conversion rate masterclass. So I'm just going to quickly explain to you in 1 minute why this is important. Okay. So this is your Etsy shop and these are your customers. So let's say that you get 100 customers into your store and you have a 1% conversion rate. That means you get one sale, and roughly that's going to be about $30 to £30. But what happens when we increase that conversion rate to 2%, 3% and above? This suddenly doubles, triples, quadruples without you having to change anything. Now, getting customers into your store costs time, effort, and money. But what if you didn't have to change this, you didn't have to change your shop, all you had to change was this conversion rate? That is what I'm going to be teaching you in today's masterclass. So whether you're a newbie or a seasoned Etsy shop owner, get yourself down below and register for that masterclass so you can increase this number. Back to the video.
But you want to make sure that the colors are coming out correctly. And as you're doing this, you might actually want to turn a few things down. Like, for example, I might turn the contrast down a little bit. Brightness, I don't want to touch that really because I think that is fine the way it is. I think it's still a little bit warm, so I might turn that saturation down just a little bit. And a lot of this depends on your brand. If you have a brand that's very warm, you might want to kind of crank this up a little bit, whereas if your brand is very like modern minimalistic, you might want to sort of have it down to about there. It really just sort of depends, but what I wouldn't do is make it look like something that it's not, you know. So what I tend to do is I'll tend to have the actual product sat in front of me so that I can see what the colors are actually like. So it's quite easy to become almost like colorblind when you're doing this. You don't want to touch any of these because these are all like effects and stuff like that, which, you know, really you don't need to really touch. Or there's this here, which is quite cool if you're using like it for Instagram. You've then got the warmth function here. So again, if you want to make it warmer. So I'm going to put the saturation up a little bit like that. So the colors come out, but I'm going to not make it as warm. So you can see that just by working your way down, you'll see that you'll have to go up and change a few things here. Clarity, again, you can really whack that up. I'm going to do it just a little tiny bit, but not a lot. You've then got vibrance, which again, I quite like the vibrance function, but it can be quite sort of overwhelming if you do it too much, but I quite like something along the lines of that. Now here you can adjust the colors of the highlights. You can make it really like wow, or you can bring it back down again and do it to something that's not quite as bright. So again, like if you want it to be quite sort of dark, you can do it there. I'm going to put that back to what it was, and the same for the shadows. You'll see now that that dark candle will lighten up and then it will become really dark again, and these are just the shadows of it. So if you've got if you want to show the depth, so you can see here that you can see like the outline of where the candle hasn't quite got to the edge of the glass there. So if you want to kind of blur that out just a little bit more, you can lighten the shadows up and you can see that that becomes a little less prominent. But I'm going to put that down just a little tiny bit. You do have the reset option here as well if you want to, and you do also have a filter code, which is really helpful with Canva. Now I'm not sure if this is just on the Canva Pro account, but basically if you then want to copy that and I want to pop it onto this photo here, I can just do that and it'll automatically apply the update to other photos as well. So it's a really handy thing to have if you don't want to just whack it on, you know, you don't want to have to sit there and manually adjust things. You can do it that way. Now, one other thing I would recommend before you set this as live is just to really zoom in and make sure that the picture is of a high quality. So as you can see, I think I need to go back and reduce the clarity a bit, make it a bit less sharp. But yes, I hope that this has really shown you just a very, very quick tutorial as to how to salvage listing photos if you think you've not done it quite right. So guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that video. Don't forget again to give it a big thumbs up if you did. Community over competition, guys, so more people can see it in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye everybody.